So today we are going to be working on hip mobility. So we're going to be stretching out all the muscles around the hips to help you relieve any pain through the hips or just loosen them up if they're feeling a little bit tight. So I would suggest if you do have really tight hips to get a block. That might help you through some of the exercises that we're going to do. You can also use a towel if you don't have a block. All right, so let's get started. So we're going to start with our feet a little bit wider. So you want to come into a seated position and bring your feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Place your hands behind you so you can bring the fingers away from the lower back and just open up the chest. So you don't want to be slouching down, sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. We're just going to drop the knees down to one side. So if you can lower them down the whole way, that's great. If you're feeling too tight for that, that's okay. Just go as low as you can. So always taking this at your own pace. Take an inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop them down to the other side. So one knee will be internally rotating, the other knee will be externally rotating. All right, so just warming up through the hips, swapping sides. So we're just gonna go inhale to the center, exhale to the side. Take it nice and slow, so it's just controlled. Coming down as low as you can. A few more on each side. Last one on each side. And then we're going to come back to the center. Now drop the knees over to the left. Then slowly rotate towards that left leg. So we're going to have the leg in front of us at a 90-degree angle and the leg behind us at a 90-degree angle. So the hips in line with the knee and you've got the 90 degrees with the leg, and then the same with the leg at the front, the knees in line with the hip. Now this is where the block comes in. If it is too much for you, you can place the block underneath the buttocks and it will just feel a little bit nicer if you have really tight hips, especially if you haven't stretched your hips for a while or this is the first time you're doing this class. So from here we're going to rotate towards that left leg and then just press down onto the knee. And then the right hand will press down onto the ankle. So here, if this is enough for you, I just want you to sit up nice and tall and keep pressing down onto that leg. If not, I want you to lower the chest down towards that leg, stay open through the chest, lengthen through the spine and gaze down towards the mat. So even though we're stretching through the hips, it's still all about posture. We want to be doing the stretching in the correct posture so that we can get the best out of our exercises. And then just breathing into the stretch. Use the exhale, you can lower down a little bit more. Try not to lift that back leg up. And then again, if you want to make it harder, you can lower the hands down and come all the way down onto the elbows. If you've got the block and you're not using it to sit on, you can do that with the block as well. But just know you can go at your own pace with this. If you're just happy to sit up tall, stay there. Long spine. 2 more breaths. And then use your inhale to press all the way up. So sitting up tall, the back leg now is the one we're going to move. So we're going to lift that back leg up just a little bit and lower it back down. So we're lifting and lowering, getting some movement into the hip. A little bit of glute work as well. Okay, we've got 7 of these to go. We're doing 10. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. So rotate the torso towards the center, bring the knees back. We're going to drop down to the right. So same thing here. We're going to have the right leg in the 90 degrees and the left leg in the 90 degrees as well. Rotate towards that right leg and press down onto it. So really feel those hips releasing. If it's too hard for you, that's when you need the block or the towel underneath the buttocks and the sit bones, and that'll just help you go into that stretch a little bit more. And if you do this video more and more, you'll be able to eventually get down where you won't need to have, hopefully, any kind of assistance. So harder option, lowering all the way down as much as you can, keeping the spine long, keeping the neck long, so really gazing down towards the mat. Pressing down on the knee, using the left hand to hold the ankle and press down there as well. And then harder option is lowering down onto the elbows. Again, you can use the block there. Okay, we just want to hold this for 2 more breaths. And then slowly come all the way back up. Bring your hands so they're back onto the legs. And we're gonna roll the back leg, we're gonna roll the knee up towards the ceiling and then lower it back down. So lift and lower. Try and squeeze through the buttocks as you lift the leg. Halfway here, last 4. Keep pressing down on that knee if you can. 2, 1, and then rest. Slowly rotate towards the center and then come all the way back. Well done. All right, so from here now, we're just going to drop the knees down as much as you can, bringing them into a 90-degree angle. So holding onto the ankles, shins, knees. If that's enough for you, just press there, but then just try and lower the knees down towards the mat. Flex through the feet, stay open and long through the chest and long through the spine. And then inhale, slowly bring the feet in nice and close together. So the soles of the feet together, the heels are coming close towards the pelvis, and we're just gonna lower the elbows back down onto the legs. So if you wanna make this a little bit harder, you just press down, lower the chest down towards those feet. And if it's too hard, just use your hands and press those knees down to lower the knees down towards the mat. All right, use your breath in to slowly come up. So we're going to extend one leg to the back and take it into our mermaid stretch. So one foot's to the thigh, the other leg's at the back. So the opposite arm will come down to where the feet are, opposite arm. And then the top arm, you're just going to reach up and over. So just seating in this position is going to open up your hips. If you just can't get yourself in this position, that's okay. Just place one leg on top of each other and extend. Take a breath in, gently come up. We're going to rotate towards the bent knee, whichever one, because we'll go to the other side, and use your exhale to slowly lower down. Only go as low as you can to what feels good for you. Okay, inhale to the center. Use your breath out to take it to the other side. So the one side might feel really, really tight compared to the other. This is a little bit of a stretch through the lower back as well, but definitely opening up those hips. Take a breath in, come back to the center, and then slowly make your way all the way up. All right, let's do it to the other side. So just switch the legs over. And then lower the elbow down or the hand. So the hand's easier option, elbow. Extend through that top arm. Make sure there's no rounding through the back here. You're staying open through the chest. Really reaching, keeping the fingertips active, not slouching down. And then drawing that shoulder blade down away from the ear. Take an inhale, slowly come up. Use your exhale to just come all the way over one knee. Lowering the chest down towards the thigh. So that'll keep you nice and long through the spine, prevent you rounding through the back. Deep breath into the center. Stretch out as much as you can. And then use your exhale to take it all the way over. So to the opposite side. Inhale back to the center. And then slowly make your way all the way up to a seated position. Good work. All right, let's go into some more. So we're going to come into a kneeling position now. We're going to work through and exercise and stretch out the hip flexors. So the hip flexors are a lot of the reason why you do have tight hips. So we're going to do that now. So bring one foot up. So we're in a kneeling position, the knees in line with the foot, hands on the hips, tuck the pubic bone in towards the belly button. Okay, so feeling that stretch all through the front of the thigh here and really through the hip flexor. If you're not feeling it enough, try and really tuck the pubic bone in a little bit more and slightly lower down. Just tilt that pelvis forward a little bit. Staying soft through the shoulders. If you want to make it harder, you can extend the arms up towards the ceiling and try and really reach back. Okay, we want to hold these stretches so we can get the benefits. Staying soft through the shoulders, 2 more breaths. And slowly lower all the way down. Place your hands down, we're going to swap with the legs. So just gently bring the other one up. Make sure it's bent. Slowly come up, bring your hands on your hips. Slight engagement through the core. Try and tuck the pubic bone in towards the belly button. Then harder option, lengthening the arms all the way up. Nice long spine. Okay, really reaching for the ceiling if you're doing this. You just want to try and stretch out as much as you can. Lower back a little bit, take yourself into a mini back bend. 2 big deep breaths. Then inhale, slowly lower all the way down, bring the feet back. So we're in a 4-point kneeling position here. I want you to flex through the feet and bring yourself all the way up into a downward dog. So this is just a transition. We want to take it into our pigeon. So I want you to bring one leg, it doesn't matter which one, into the middle of the hands and then extend the other leg away. So from here you can shuffle the foot into a more comfortable position. Make sure you're not rolling down onto the mat, your hips stay up, your buttock stays up off the mat. And then this is where you can bring your block in as well. If it's too much for you to place your hands down, you can just place your hands on the block. You can place your elbows down onto the block, or you can just lower all the way down. Just making sure you haven't rolled down, the hips are up. The hips are pointed down towards the mat and the neck's long, spine's long as well. So a great stretch to do for tight hips. It's just opening up all your glutes, your glute med, your piriformis, which is all the muscles in the glute that get tight from sitting down a lot or staying standatory. Standatory. All right, we're going to slowly come over to one side. So just with the hands and the upper body. So we're twisting a little bit, but just stretching out a little bit harder through the glute and through the back of the leg here. Back to the center on the breath in. Exhale to the other side. Keep those hips up. Inhale back to the center. Slowly come up onto the hands. We're going to flex through the foot. So we're coming out of this stretch now. Press all the way up. Bring yourself back into that downward dog. Slowly bring the other leg into the center now. Extend the other leg away. You can use your hand if you need to shuffle or use your foot, whatever feels easier for you. The easier, the better. So staying up nice and tall for the easier option. Still is hard, not saying it's easy, but it's the easier option. Harder option coming down. So we want to be engaging through the core. That'll help us into the stretch, and breathing, really trying to focus on the breath going into the muscles where you're feeling the tightness. So with each exhale, you can lower down some more, you can take yourself into the stretch. You can really work on those muscles and releasing through the hips. Deep breath in through the nose, and when you're ready, slowly take it over to one side. Just a small movement here, not too much towards the side. Take an inhale, come back to the center, and then exhale to the other side. So one side might feel a little bit easier than the other. Inhale back to the center. Slowly come up onto the hands, flex through the foot, bring yourself into a 4-point kneeling position. Well done. Okay, let's go on to our back now. So we're just going to slowly come all the way down. Shuffle if you need to the center. And then bring one leg over. So we want the ankle to be coming over the top of the thigh and flex through the foot. Okay, so press the thigh away from the hip joint. So a nice 90 degrees with that leg. And then when you're ready, the knee at the top, so the bent leg, you're going to grab onto that with both hands. So one hand will take the ankle, the other hand will take the knee, and just bring it in nice and close towards the chest. Then you're going to slowly bring the knee towards the opposite side. So really stretching out the piriformis in this exercise, which is the smaller muscle in the buttocks, which gets the hip tight. So take an inhale, slowly release the leg, press it away back into that hip opener, and then exhale, bring it in nice and close, bring it towards the opposite side. 2 more times. Extend, press it away, flex through the foot, bring it in nice and close. Last one. Hold it here and then extend the other leg away. Take yourself into that stretch a little bit more. And then lower all the way down. Let's do it to the other side. So flexing through the foot, pressing the knee away. Make sure you've got the 90 degrees with the legs. If you want to make it harder, just keep pressing it away. Deep breaths. And then when you're ready, taking the knee and taking the ankle, bringing it nice and close towards the chest, and then slowly bringing the knee to the opposite side. Okay, so that's where you want to go. Press away. Exhale. So each breath being a movement. Inhale. Bring that knee back 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Then bring that knee nice and close. Hold it here. Use your exhale to extend the other leg away. Really try and bring it over to the opposite side, feeling the stretch through the whole back of the glute and the buttocks. And then gently lower all the way down. All right, let's go all the way to a seated position. To finish off, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this class. Make sure you keep doing this class, especially if you've got tight hips. Add this into your weekly schedule. Preferably 3 times a week is awesome to get those hips back on track, or just every now and then if you don't have too tight of hips. But I will see you all for the next one, and thank you so much.